Welcome, everyone, to the Mismatch podcast, the final episode of season 1. We're finally through season 1. It's been like a year and a half. No joke. Things
On
happen.
and off recording.
Absolutely. We got some guests. We promised guests. CJ, say hello.
Hello.
And we've got
What's up?
Zealous.
Hello.
He's incognito. He doesn't go by his real name. He's very zealous. Anyways, we got a banger ass episode. We're talking WrestleMania 41. All the events. What's going to happen? All that fun stuff. I don't know where we're going from there. What else are we covering? What we think's going to happen the Raw after WrestleMania? We get edgy?
You could say that. You could
We're
say
gonna touch into that.
what we think what's going to happen on the final Raw and SmackDown before Mania.
Yeah.
Like if anything
Yeah,
else
that's
can get
true.
added.
The final. I don't know if anything will be added from the Raw side. I feel like it's just gonna be a filler episode. That if
I
you
don't
miss
think
it,
Raw's going to be anything special.
I really don't. I think the only thing special is gonna come from the SmackDown episode. Raw, we're gonna be loaded with promos. We're gonna hear Rhea Ripley say "Mommy's always on top," and it's just gonna be boring.
Yeah, SmackDown seems like the show you want to tune into this upcoming week.
Well, that's a
Especially
that's a
since
Cody
Cena's gonna
Cody
be that.
Cena showdown, right? For the last
Yeah,
time.
It's gonna be their final showdown.
Nope. They've already had their final showdown. They won't be appearing on SmackDown.
No,
Well,
he's
Cena's
he's
scheduled
already
for
advertised
SmackDown.
for no, he's advertised for the SmackDown
after
before.
Mania.
No, before.
Is he?
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's
Yeah,
this Saturday, yeah.
Cena's been advertised for the final SmackDown before Mania.
It's in Vegas,
Oh.
so he's there in Vegas.
Yeah.
So
We're gonna see.
all I will say is if Cody attacks John again, it's history follows with the WWE. This is kind of a pattern I've learned. Whoever deals the final blow before WrestleMania generally is losing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's going to be any violence.
Ooh,
I don't
that's a
think
hot
anyone's
take.
gonna attack anyone. I
Then you
think
have to
they're
go
gonna
back to
stay
their
at the
last
Cena's-
appearance where Cody stood tall. But we'll talk about night 2 after. We got to get to night 1 first.
All right, so we're going to talk night 1. So they have tentatively announced the lineups. We're a week out. The time you guys are seeing this episode, it'll probably be Tuesday, Wednesday, probably. Assuming everything goes well. So according to WrestleZone, this is the most recent update that I have here. Oh, we're gonna have to take Randy Orton into consideration because he does have a match. We'll get predictions on who we think his opponent's gonna be. But we should find that out Friday.
Just a
So
quick recovery to Kevin Owens. That sucks.
That-
It really does.
Very
And
sucks.
Hope he recovers soon. What I read
he
is
apparently could potentially miss next year's WrestleMania.
yeah, as
that's
we're
that
not going
bad.
to see him for a while. So hopefully Kevin Owens recovers.
So Saturday. So we've got the following matches. Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano.
You know, it's kind of sad that Chad Gable is missing out on another WrestleMania.
It is,
very
right? I mean,
sad.
his protege is doing amazing, and it's representing, so he's got to be proud.
He does. El Grande is going to do Chad Gable proud.
Yeah, I
now
love Sami Zayn and all, but last year should have been Chad's moment.
To win? Yeah, to defeat Gunther. I agree.
Yeah, it should have been Chad's
Now,
moment. But
do we see an unmasking at WrestleMania?
Absolutely. El Grande is going to be
they
unmasked.
should have done mask vs mask. That should have been the stipulation.
All right, so we'll go down the line. Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. Your take on the winner, and what do you think is going to happen at the end of the match? We'll start with CJ.
Yeah, I feel like this match could go either way. Either Ray wins or because I think it's gonna be shenanigans. I think American Made and LWO are gonna come out during the match. And I feel like El Grande Americano will most likely get unmasked in this match. And I think that will cause the win for Rey Mysterio.
Oh, so you're going Rey Mysterio. Okay.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go a little bit wilder. I'm gonna say that Americano wins because let's be honest, Rey Mysterio's a vet. He doesn't need to win, and even if it is Chad Gable,
It's
him
not.
him putting Chad Gable over, makes more sense. I think what's gonna happen though is I think everyone's gonna get a little bamboozled, and El Americano is gonna win. He's gonna unmask, and like Zua chimed in. It is going to be someone not Chad Gable, and Chad Gable's going to be there to congratulate him, and then people are going to be like, "Really? What the heck is going on here?" Because you know what? For all the hate that this kind of like character is getting, I think it's freaking hilarious, and I kind of want to see it continue just a few weeks longer. So I think Chad Gable's going to show up at WrestleMania, get a huge ass pop, and then people are going to be like, "Well, who's behind the mask?" And it's going to be some NXT upstart or something that just has like the same physique as him or something. Or I don't know.
As
Maybe Chad Gable has a twin
What-
brother we don't know about. I don't
What if
know.
you say like
So what is
some,
this
like Chad
oh,
comes out and attacks Ray when the ref's not looking? Like like he has his hood up, he has like
No,
the face
I don't
mask
think
covering
anyone
up.
interferes. I think he pins Ray clean, and I think Chad Gable comes out to celebrate with him. Because what better way to just absolutely screw with people's minds would be for Chad Gable's music to hit and for him to come down the ramp. And then people will be like, "It's not him?" And then he would
Yeah.
unmask, and then people would know who he is.
I think that would be a good swerve.
Or
I
they
would
don't
like that.
unmask him. And then people go on
I would-
thinking, was it actually Chad Gable? Like, and then people are wondering on Raw, is it Chad Gable? Is it not? Right? So I think it'd be kind of funny if he comes out and they don't unmask him, or even if they do unmask him and it's not him, to kill off that storyline.
That's fucking great.
All right, Zua.
So I got a couple things. Rey Mysterio is going to debut new music at WrestleMania.
That's a hot take.
That is my
That
hot
is
That's
take.
a hot take and a
take.
That
half.
is such a hot take.
Rey
You're
Mysterio.
saying he's gonna get Death Rebels. He better not get
Rey
Death
Mysterio
Rebels.
is going to get Death
Dude,
Rebel.
If he gets
I-
Death Rebel,
Listen, I
honestly,
want
the
you guys
pay-per-view.
to remember when this match comes on like third in the night, right? And his music hits and it's not the traditional Rey Mysterio music, you're all gonna message me and go, "How did you know?" All right, that's my one hot take. However, Rey Mysterio doesn't need to win this match. But I think that this is a match that the LW, it's tough, right? The LWO is kind of a joke. Also, American Made's a joke at this point. So Ray doesn't need this win for the LWO because he is going to make the LWO relevant no matter what. I think this will be a great win for El Grande Americano, and the match is going to cook. Both of these guys know what they're doing, and I think Chad is ecstatic to be in the ring with Ray at WrestleMania.
All right, cool. Yeah,
That's
that
not a
you're.
Ray at WrestleMania.
I will.
Yeah, sorry, El Grande is going to be
There you
ecstatic.
go. There you go.
This dude's just like,
Yeah, so
it's
they
just,
look so much alike that you keep getting them mixed up.
dude, is
It
that
is.
that
It's hard,
jawline? I'm
you
telling
know?
you, they don't have the same jawline. I'm telling you, it's a different wrestler.
It is. It is.
All right,
All
Zeal.
So here's what I got. So El Grande Americano is gonna win it. I am taking more of a cinematic approach to this. Chad's music's gonna hit in the middle of the match, and it's not exactly gonna be Chad. It's just gonna be some hooded figure standing at the top of the ramp. Ray's just staring up at it like, "Come on, like show yourself" type stuff, and he gets pinned for the roll up. That
Oh my
way,
gosh,
I
no.
think it's gonna be an upset in
Yeah.
that regard.
Yeah, you know what?
Because
I definitely don't
I
think it's
don't
gonna
think
be.
they
Yeah,
I don't think they let Ray lose cleanly at WrestleMania. It's gonna be some kind of messed up ending to
Yes,
this,
yeah. I could see it.
but
and
Chad's kind
whether
of
or
a.
not the
Ch-
thing is though,
yeah.
like he's trying to be El Grande Americano, like yeah, great storyline and whatever. If it is Chad under there, um, and then they would unmask him at WrestleMania if it is Chad. I don't think they unmask him if it's not Chad.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
It's possible. Definitely possible.
As I said, this match can literally go either way. Like,
I
feel
think
like
this match
you're right that
is
I
really
feel like
gonna
El
cook.
Grande Americano needs the win more, but I feel like there will be shenanigans. like
I
either El Grande Americano's going to win by shenanigans, or somehow I said the only way Ray wins is my prediction is if he gets unmasked mid-match, tries to cover up his face, and then Ray like hits him with a 619.
yeah. I think this match is gonna cook. This might be one of the surprise matches of the nights for night one. I really do think.
Alrighty. So we've got 3 in favor of Americano, 1 in favor of Mysterio.
Listen,
DJ,
my
you're
wife's
on the.
listening. My wife's listening. She goes, "Wait, is this motherfucker technically getting 2 paychecks? One as Chad Gable and one as the other as El Grande Americano."
No, they're two
I
separate.
Dude,
hope so.
I just
I
think
hope so.
anytime I think of Americano, I just think back to Chad Gable getting the box from the old ass like Japanese dude in the or like Mexican dude, whoever it was,
But
in that
I really like
cinematic
that,
scene,
I really
and the
like that Chad's
gold
gone back to
light.
sort of his. I really like that Chad's gone back to sort of his like comedic side, because when he first turned heel last year, he went to more like a serious
They
Yeah,
heel.
and then he
I
died.
like that he's gone back to his more of like his comedic heel
He's
side,
like
like he
Kurt
was with
Angle
Otis back like
2.0.
a few years ago.
he really is
Exactly.
Kurt Angle.
All
Alright.
right. This will be a real quick one. The WWE tag titles, War Raiders versus the New Day.
I want to start off with this one.
You wanna
There's
go-
only
you-
one reason. Yeah, there's only
Okay.
one reason this match is on WrestleMania, and it's because the New Day is going to win their 12th title. There's no doubt in my mind that the New Day are winning this, and it's going to be for their 12th title, tag team title.
So,
Is that a record?
Yeah, they already hold the record
Yeah.
with 11. But yeah,
Okay.
there's no other reason for this match to be on here besides that.
The War Raiders. The
no,
War Raiders
I
will
disagree.
win. Yeah, the War Raiders. I can't speak. The War Raiders will win. Big E's gonna cost the New Day. It's gonna come
Yeah, I
full
was gonna
circle.
say that. That's the only way
Exactly.
Raw
Yeah,
Raiders win.
it's gonna come full
Apart from
circle.
Tom
Biggie
Brady's
makes
side.
his return to ring at WrestleMania because he's been completely just disappeared since the
He's
last
medically
time
cleared, apparently.
Yeah.
I've read reports that he is not.
Oh.
Well, he doesn't need to be medically cleared to he doesn't need to be medically cleared to do something. He needs to be medically cleared to
Correct.
compete constantly. He can come in and clothesline somebody and not
He can
take a
hit
bump.
big ending.
Yeah, like
He
he
could hit a
could
big ending.
he could take a clothesline. You know, he's just
so-
falling back.
He just
So-
can't do like the severe matches.
So this
Yeah.
is the issue. If he's not fully cleared, don't use him for this because it's just a waste of an appearance. It's going to get fans excited, and there's no storyline going forward.
Sure, there is.
Yeah, if Biggie appears, I'm fully believing he's medically cleared. If he doesn't
Yeah,
appear,
exactly.
then
if he doesn't appear, then he's not medically.
But the thing
cleared.
is, he
It's
is
the-
at
it's the
he
fact-
is at every show. He's
It's
an
the
analyst
fact that they
Mhm.
did that.
and a creator
They did that.
or director, whatever.
the breakup to have them turn.
Yeah. They did that segment, and then they completely just Biggie just
Whiffed
completely
it.
disappeared.
yeah, I
Yeah.
was completely like sure he was going to
So-
show up at the Rumble.
So yeah, I was like, when's he coming back to do something? And then they've just been building up this heel New Day up to WrestleMania, and then they just get their match at WrestleMania, and I'm just like, okay, either as Heck said here, they're gonna win, get their 12th, yada yada, or Big E's gonna go. I don't think their 12th is considerably should be a WrestleMania event just because they already hold the record.
Yeah, it's not important.
I feel like if it was a record-breaking 12th, like Cena's 17th, which we'll get to that shortly, I think it's not really WrestleMania worthy at this point.
Okay. That was a quick, like almost like unanimous, except for Zua being on the short end of the stick.
That's fine. That's fine.
Let's go to Naomi versus Jade Cargill. I'm gonna go with this one.
This one's difficult.
This one's pretty easy. Naomi will win, and here's why. Because if Naomi loses, there's no continuing that feud.
Mhm.
That's it. There's
I-
no like
I-
ifs, ands, or buts. I don't think. The only thing I could see was if the matches were reversed and it was Io, Bianca, and Rhea night 1 and then Naomi and Jade night 2, I could see Bianca interfering and like costing um Naomi the match or something, and then being like, I'm the one who attacked Jade Cargill or something. But since they're the Naomi matches before, I just don't see Bianca getting involved, especially with the Women's World Championship match. Because to be honest, like I have a theory for that. So I think it's just going to be a straight. I think Naomi pins Jade. It's Jade's first like major PLE loss, and it just fuels Jade's hatred for Naomi more.
Is it her first pin?
No, she's lost
No, her
before.
first pin was Liv.
Yeah, she's lost
yeah,
before.
I forgot she lost to Liv.
But she's never lost at a PLE, I don't think. So
No, she's
she's
only been
yeah,
pinned by
if
Liv.
Naomi loses, it snuffs out that whole thing. It's like, oh, she got her revenge at WrestleMania. Okay, dead issue. Unless they
Yeah,
do
no.
that, and then Bianca, comes out the next night and is bitching and complaining, and Jade comes out and goes, hey, I got no beef with you, and then she turns on her, and reveals it. Like it
Yeah, I
could
don't
be a
know.
Raw after WrestleMania thing, but I think it's just I think it's a clean match.
Like you're saying that like your theory is that Bianca was the one that told Naomi to do it, and Bianca was like the old mastermind.
100%. I think Bianca. Yeah, there's a reason why I think what I think for the women's title, but we'll get to that in a moment.
I agree. I think Naomi has to win this match. One, to cement herself as a viable heel, but two, to continue the storyline. I think that this is going to probably last several months of this storyline.
I think it'll end at Backlash. I think that's long
yeah,
enough.
maybe Backlash.
Yeah, because I have prediction for Naomi after this match.
But I think that if Jade wins this match, there's no storyline going forward for her. And there's no storyline for Naomi. So Naomi's going to win.
Proceed to absolute squash her.
Yeah, she could.
I could.
I don't think she will, though.
No, that's a Vince call.
It would be.
But yeah, I feel like Naomi has to win this because her character work over the last month, like, has been phenomenal. Like her promos, like that promo her and Bianca had where she revealed that she was the attacker. Like where they both literally got
Rose Column.
emotional, started crying at each other, and then just Naomi just shouts out, "You ungrateful bitch." I feel like that segment was literal cinema. But yeah,
I feel like I
Naomi
was watching
needs
that
this.
soap
Naomi
opera.
needs this win more. And I feel like if it does end at Mania, then they can move on to something else. But I feel like it will continue. But yeah, Naomi needs to win this feud, and then I think she goes on to win Money in the Bank.
Interesting.
That's a hot take.
Very interesting.
I have a
I think
completely
it
opposite take
goes.
for that.
I was gonna say I think I go. It can go either way for me, honestly. Because yeah, they could end it at WrestleMania and start lining Jade up for the world title or women's title, whatever. Um, in the case that Bianca wins it, which we'll get to that later. Naomi, I mean, yeah, this she needs this win for her character, especially coming up from being just a face most of her career, and then the development into her heel, as CJ was saying, really was almost cinematic. It felt like I was watching more of a soap opera, which was great. It was something different. Um, but in terms of who I feel I want to win this, I feel like Naomi should win this, just to kind of further cement that she is a more established character now.
Yeah, I think we're all kind of unanimous that Naomi has to win it.
Yeah.
Does anyone really care about this Tiffany Stratton Charlotte Flair match? Because I personally don't.
Tiffany's winning. Charlotte's a piece of
Okay.
Absolutely, I care. This is going to be your
win. That's it. Tiffany should
This
win.
is going to be your co-main event. This is going to be the match before the main event.
God, this is going to be a get up and go and eat match for me.
It's going to be
honest.
It's going to be a 27-minute, 30-minute match.
Oh, good lord!
Right?
Yeah, because it's going to be 20 minutes of Charlotte Flair's entrance for it to be a 10-minute match.
If you want my honest opinion, I think Tiffany should win.
Yes.
However, a loss to Charlotte at WrestleMania does not move the needle on my opinion on Tiffany. Tiffany is the future of this company, one of the futures of the women's division in this company. I think that it is going to be in good hands with her and Roxanne as the two youngest stars coming up. And honestly, I think her beating Charlotte could really cement herself as a top player in the company. But I wouldn't be surprised if Charlotte wins.
I feel like if Charlotte wins, then if they are going to like do like a draft, at, like a few weeks after me, like they usually do every year, I think then
Mhm.
Tiffany moves to Raw,
Yes.
and then
Yeah.
she goes after the women's world title.
However, we're gonna have to go into night 2 for this. I think Charlotte will move to Raw if she wins.
Oh, I get what you're thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was about to say, yeah, I think
Yeah.
I get it here.
But we'll touch on that
Flair,
in a little
Flair,
bit. I
Flair
don't
should put
wanna-
over Tiffany. Flair has nothing to prove. She's
No,
overrated. She's completely overrated from day
Yeah.
one.
most
I've never
definitely.
liked her
But
one bit.
that taxes and Charlotte winning a championship when she comes back from injury. Those are the three things I can guarantee in life.
My thing. Okay, so we'll move on from that one. Everyone pretty much thinks Tiffany's going to win,
Tiffany.
unless maybe Flair does the Flair thing, and then that thing happens that you're thinking, because I know what you're thinking. People will understand that analogy later. What I think might be the match that steals it is LA Knight versus Fatu.
Absolutely.
I think it's going to be a good match.
I think it's going to
think
be a
Fatu
DQ.
wins this. Really?
A DQ? You think Solo's gonna cost Jacob?
Yep, 100%.
Oh my god.
I mean, that
Yep.
is definitely that
Well,
is a way to like
well-
save Jacob from a pin and still win the title.
Because it'll be Solo versus Fatu at Backlash, and that will set up that will be his leave from the bloodline. That'll be the start of his solo run.
For Jacob?
For Jacob.
I-
Solo.
Because
I
the
get
thing is,
that.
Jacob, I don't think needs to establish himself as a mid card. I think he could go after, and I think he goes to SmackDown.
Stays in SmackDown. Hey, you want my honest opinion? I think Jacob Fatu should win this match and should have a Gunther-like run with the United States Championship, and just absolutely steamroll, beat the shit out of every single person he faces, because that is what his character is.
Oh, I think he should
is a-
win.
I don't
I
mind
don't
that.
think
He is
it's
a
going to happen, but
dog.
I think he should win.
I
But I
think-
don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, Jacob should win, then become the longest reigning United States champion in history.
I think
That's
think
tough.
Jacob could have some great mid
Yeah.
card matches with Andrade, with Mello, even with the Miz. Like, just you bring people into the mid card scene that you weren't thinking of as well. You could have him face Damien, you could have him face Drew at some point. Just have him dog walk everyone. He is a fucking beast and should be treated like one.
I was going to
But
say,
going
yeah,
back
they
on
could.
Ty's thing about Solo turning on him or costing him the match, I feel like with the reactions Jacob's getting and how Triple H, whenever he was getting cheered, he always tends to turn him face.
Yeah, it would make sense to have
I feel like
Solo.
Solo would definitely be the heel in the storyline, and Jacob,
Absolutely.
considering he gets the biggest pop all the time, like the fans love him,
Yeah.
and I feel like he's definitely one who can play a babyface because he's like a great guy outside of wrestling. There's been so many clips I've seen of him of just being an absolute like amazing human being. Like we saw him at the end of the Rumble, like congratulating Jay, like wearing a Yeet shirt. Like
Yeah.
he's a very likable dude. So he could probably play a great baby face, but he doesn't need to be like that face that like panders to the crowd. He can still be his same character.
So he can be Braun Breaker?
Yeah, kind of like Bron Breaker,
Yep.
but like kind of like I wouldn't say anti-hero, but like what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Yep. I get you.
Here's my hot take though. I think Fatu wins it clean.
Yeah.
I
don't
hope
think
so.
There's gonna be any I don't think there's gonna be any DQ from Solo because I think they're gonna build that after Mania for Solo trying to come after Jacob's title.
Yeah, I could see
Ooh.
that.
I mean, I feel like also LA Knight's proved himself like in the mid card and that he's ready
Yeah,
to now
move him
be
up.
fully in the main event scene.
Yeah, he's
If there's one person who always gets the biggest pops, it's LA Knight.
Like
yeah.
he's been getting them for the last 2 years, so surely now he should be in the main event scene.
Yeah.
All right.
We're gonna move into Ty's dream. It's his favorite match of the night.
God, I can't.
It is going to be the opener of this show, the
It's
second most
not.
important match, and it's going to be Jey Uso versus Gunther.
Gunther squashes Uso. I hope to God that
absolutely
Gunther
not.
Sorry for the language.
slaughters him. I hope so bad that Gunther squishes him. It would be, because you know what? It would be so fitting to the Jey Uso thing, because the thing is, he's not good. He's not good in the ring. He's not good on a microphone. He's a glorified hype man. That's all he is. He's Pat McAfee, except he's trained in the ring. That's all he is. I will fucking say my piece right now, because I fucking do not like Jey Uso, and I never will. If he
You're really gonna
wins the
hate results
title,
of this match.
he will
You're
lose
not
it
gonna
at
watch
Backlash at the latest.
Nah, I don't see it.
Okay then. Who would you rather have win the title, Jey Uso or Charlotte Flair?
Honestly, I'd rather take Charlotte Flair, because at least she's willing to be edgy. For the love of God. However,
if you
Tiffany's
ask me-
0-3 comment was fucking amazing, and I laughed
Yeah.
hysterically at that.
If you asked me before last Monday's Raw and Friday's SmackDown, where Jimmy got his absolute
That
got
was
dog
amazing.
walked.
Jimmy died. He
Dude,
died.
Jimmy
dude,
died.
he,
Yeah,
he
they
bladed
killed Jimmy.
so
They killed
badly.
Jimmy to make Jay fucking the way that he is. Jay's going to win this, and there is no doubt in my mind that Jay is going to win the title. He's gonna beat Gunther, and Ty's gonna have a conniption fit in my DMs after telling me how much he hates
Dude,
Jey Uso.
I'm not even
However,
gonna be there for the
Ty's
opening
gonna
match.
And you
make a
can- you-
full-on Twitter rant after the match.
You
No, I
can
won't.
hate Jey Uso, but I think he deserves it. He's had the crowd is behind him, and at some points you have to go with what the crowd wants. This is similar to Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30. However, Daniel Bryan could actually wrestle.
You know what? Kofi Kingston
it's a
has
bit
deserved it
different.
for 15 years, and he hasn't gotten it
Kofi
when he
already
was a
got
heel.
it.
And then he got screwed literally weeks later.
Yeah, because
And
of
he
Vince McMahon's
actually
sucking
deserved it.
ass. I agree. However,
Agreed.
Jey Uso deserves this, and he's gonna win. He's gonna win
Yeah,
clean.
And he's
too.
good.
Personally-
Oh, he's not going to win
personally,
clean. He's not going to win clean.
I think Jey Uso has been the MVP of WWE since the lockdown era, from when the Bloodline story started.
Yep.
I feel like what he's been in, like if the that didn't happen, like if the lockdown or like if COVID didn't happen, then WWE would be so different right now. I feel like that's literally a whole thing you can think of. Like if COVID never happened, Roman Reigns would have never like disappeared, and probably Tribal Chief would have never been a thing.
I think that's a whole nother podcast.
How about this?
Yeah, that's a whole
just
other
to bring this
podcast,
up,
I think,
it really
but-
is. But if Roman didn't get COVID, he would have lost at day 1 2 years ago, and we would have had completely different storylines now.
Yeah, okay. I think that's another podcast we could talk about, like
That's a
It
whole
is.
what
other
if moments,
podcast.
what if
Yeah.
moments in wrestling.
All right.
So you guys
Jay
are all.
wins this.
I mean, yes, Jay's going to win. Probably like
I think-
99%
also
sure.
feel like
But I tell you, though, I'd love to see Gunther win. If I'm picking.
I also feel like though that Jay will have one of the best entrances at Mania.
Why do you
Oh,
think
he's
it's the
not gonna have
opening
Little Wayne?
match? They're not going to do it in the middle of WrestleMania because they're time constrained.
See, that's
Yeah,
why
no.
I think it's going to open the match, because I think that makes it more obvious that Jay's winning. Is it's opening the show? Like they did it with Seth and Brock at Mania 35. You know, start the crowd off happy, having Seth win the title. I feel like they're doing the exact same thing with Jay and Gunther, minus the fact that it's not going to be 5 minutes, and Jay's going to win by low blowing Gunther 3 times.
I think this is going to be the first match where we see blood at Mania.
Should we
Yeah,
place bets
I
on
could
how
say-
many
I-
super
I-
kicks he's going to do before the match is
At
over?
least 17. I honestly think Gunther's gonna bleed at this. It's not gonna be Jay that bleeds. I think Gunther's gonna be the one that
think
bleeds and
they're
shows
both
that he's
gonna bleed.
human. Oh, you
I think
do?
they're both gonna bleed. Because Gunther's going to come out swinging. He's going to absolutely squash Jay at the beginning, and then Jay's going to come back towards the end. I think that's
I
going
could
to
see
be
it.
one of
The
those.
thing is no one's going to believe that Jey Uso busts open Gunther. Why do you think
depends-
that would be like
depends on
Sami
how he
Zayn? That
does
would have
it.
been like Sami Zayn busting open
Unless
Gunther, and that was a much
maybe
more
some-
brutal match.
There's
Maybe
so many
somehow
ways
they
that
could
he
make
could
they
get
could
it. though.
believe they can like have Jay super kick Gunther, like have him up against the ring post, and then have him like
There-
when
yeah,
have Gunther's
there's-
head against the ring post, and then have Jay super kick him. So like his foot and hit
fucking-
Gunther's
You're
face.
better
and
off.
his
You're
face
better
on
off.
it.
Ahead and-
You're better off cracking him with the title or
Ahead into the
hitting him with a
stairs.
chair.
Head
Like,
into the
head into
stair.
the
Yeah, there
stairs,
would be something.
or
A
into
super
the-
kick with
So
his
many
head up
ways
against
to
the
mess
stair.
somebody up.
Yeah. Irish
Yeah.
whip into the fucking LED monitors.
yeah.
I, just,
Okay.
I honestly believe this is just going to be the match where we see blood for like one of the first times at Mania in a while.
Yeah.
It's been at least 10 years, not longer.
I think the last Mania was blood was it Brock and Roman at Mania 34?
Yeah, I think it was Brock and Roman was the last one.
They got yelled at for that.
Yep.
Speaking of Roman,
Your main event.
Reigns, Rollins, and Punk with Paul Heyman. Boy, do I got a take for this one.
Rollins
Okay.
wins.
Yeah, Seth. Paul, like they've made it so not obvious, but like I feel like Paul is definitely turning in this match on someone. If not both, at least one of Punk or Roman.
As much as I want Punk to win this match, I see Rollins taking it just because of the Heyman introspect from last, what was it, Friday? Monday? One of those two.
Paul
I feel
Heyman
like
has
Seth's
2
been like the one
phones.
that's kind of been like sort of like pushed out of it. Like everyone's focused more on Punk and Roman, and I feel like
Mhm.
they feel like everyone sees Seth as a third wheel, and that's what I think makes them win this match.
Paul Heyman has
Like-
2 cell phones, remember? One for
Mhm. He
Roman
does.
Reigns and one for a certain bald-headed Samoan named The Rock.
Or as CM Punk would call him, bald-headed fraud.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, okay,
That promo still is so amazing.
I-
You're not great enough to gracious with your presence to do your bullshit. Seth Rollins will win. Paul Heyman will screw both Reigns and Punk and align himself as the third member with The Rock and Cena,
Or he's in like a new corporation.
a new corporation.
Mm,
I feel
Because
like I know
why would
someone
you
else
not
would be
have
part
the
of that.
greatest manager, the owner of TKO, one of the owners, the guy who literally helped WWE survive when Reigns was gone, and John Cena, the greatest champion in WWE history? You
I feel
have
like
all
someone
the
else they could
time.
potentially add to it as well. They could
Oh, and
potentially,
Seth,
maybe
and then
add
Seth will
Trick-
take out Jay. What? And then this is where. So if Jay becomes the champion, Jay either gets told you're joining, which a lot of people think Jay's going to become a heel. Either Jay joins or he goes, okay, Seth, you want to be world champion again so bad? Deal with Jey Uso. And now everybody has all the titles. You have all the titles with The Rock. Remember, The Rock said, if you join me, you will be a champion. You will have everything. So if you join The
and that's why
Rock,
I
you
think
will
Drew
have
joins in the
everything.
future.
Yeah.
That's why I think Drew could be one that potentially, if they do a corporation, Drew could be one they could add to it as well.
That would be
I don't see
hilarious.
it. I don't see it, but
'Cause-
that would be so funny.
I don't see Drew
Because
joining, but
obviously
I see it being 3 people.
Everyone thought Drew was going to be one that would sell his soul to The Rock because they had that clip of him and Rock speaking backstage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
I mean, unless
Forgot
Punk's the
about
third
that.
guy. I've thought for the longest time that Punk might be the third guy.
no, God no. He hates. There's ain't no way
Why? He's
they would be.
I mean, he's buddy
because
buddies.
I
He's
think
buddy
Punk.
buddies with The
I
Rock
think
again. But
we'll get to this in night 2, but I have a theory.
okay, so let's jump to night 2 then. I don't know
agree, though,
what
Seth is winning.
I don't know what will open the match. Probably the Intercontinental Championship. So we'll go Breaker versus Penta, Balor, and Dom.
Mysterio wins.
Dominic
Dom.
wins.
Mysterio
Dom
wins.
wins.
Dom deserves this. There is not a man in this company who deserves that title more than Dom.
And the fact they did it in a fatal 4-way makes it that much better because it protects the other 3 and still gives him a title.
Yeah, but who's gonna eat the pin? Finn? Dom is
Balor.
gonna pin Finn.
Nope,
100%.
Balor's gonna get the
yeah.
pin.
It's
It's
gonna
hard to
finally
say.
break up the Judgment
Balor
Day.
Balor is definitely getting turned on in this match.
So here's
Right.
what I think. I think Dom wins, but I think Balor goes to congratulate him, and then cans him. Similar to
Yeah.
like the Shinsuke AJ Styles
That's
thing.
fair.
And then what that does is, because the rumor is that Finn is pushed for a title match this year, like a world title run. and he would have to get a big reaction in order to start that. And what bigger way than him turning on Dominic Mysterio and being like, okay, fine, screw the Judgment Day, I'm going off on my own.
Yeah.
Especially if
Look,
Liv
as
is out
long
there.
But does
As
he
long
stay
as
heel
some
though?
point I get Demon Balor, I don't care.
I think Braun takes the pin.
No, all I know is
Yeah, I feel
Liv is
like-
gonna take the most insane spear from Braun at some point during this match.
Dude, Carlito. I just think back to the Carlito spear.
Dude, I know Liv would fucking do that too. If they said, "Hey, we need you to
Yeah,
eat
she's
a
fucking
Dude,
spear
Liv's a
from
psycho, man.
Absolutely.
I
I
saw-
fucking love her. Anything for the
something
company.
on Twitter, like of a screenshot of Bron in the air and Carlito.
Yeah.
Yeah, he tweeted his eulogy.
Carlo hit a Carlito just hit an insane DDT on Bron Breakker. Wow.
Dude,
I seen one where
absolutely.
Carlito.
Yeah, I feel like
Dude,
if
that
Liv
was-
did it, it would be one of those ones where Bron runs around the ring.
and she gets
I don't know
pulled
how
in
Bron's that
front of it.
fast. Like,
I don't know.
I don't know how he doesn't slip.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing with
I mean-
Braun Strowman too. Like when he was
Well,
running around the ring too.
That
Yeah,
Oh,
guy
with the
can't
Braun
run
can't do that
clothesline?
anymore.
Yeah.
Like no
Braun can't
big
do that
man should
anymore.
be able to move that fast.
Thing is,
I
I
just-
think Braun is faster than Braun ever was back then because
Dude.
Braun used to be fast before his legs gave out on him.
I was
Yeah.
just thinking back to when Braun speared I Show at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
And he
Oh,
went
that's the best spear of all
flying
time.
across the ring.
Brother.
You can't tell me that's not the best spear of all time.
That's the funniest spear because it couldn't happen
I
to a
don't know.
nicer guy.
Him and Carlito are like neck and neck right there.
No,
because
but like
the
like
spears-
Show
No,
actually
Car-
took
no,
a
I think-
spear. Carlito took a
'cause-
flying just like bat.
Headbutt.
head
Yeah,
missile.
basically.
Carlito took. Yeah, I
If
think
Carlito took that properly, he would have broke ribs.
Speed's one just looked more brutal. That's why I think it's the best one.
He
And
broke
plus
his
'cause-
ribs, dude.
'cause-
He broke two
al-
ribs of Speed.
and also because Braun had more like control over it because he was running the ropes.
Yes. And plus,
sorry,
he's not a
What made
wrestler.
it more brutal? What made it more brutal is the fact that Speed had literally just turned around.
Oh yeah.
Just
And you
No,
look at the face, it's like,
watching his head, watching his head snap and hit the ring. That hurt. That definitely hurt.
well, he broke two ribs
Bro,
apparently, or something like
Speed
that.
must have been paid a
Yeah,
bag
he
for that.
definitely broke.
Oh,
They must
absolutely.
have paid. They better paid Speed a bag because I would never take that bump.
Well,
Oh,
yeah, he got paid something. He had whole segments.
I
throughout
mean,
the
it's
entirety of Royal Rumble.
totally like he says he broke ribs. I don't know if he actually did, but like it's all safe. Like he would have been taught how to take that, and you guarantee it would be somebody like Braun's done it his whole career. He'd know how to do it. So, I mean,
And Speed must have said he was okay with it.
oh yeah, you don't just
So I
sign
think
up for it.
Speed-
No,
I think
he's-
Speed. No, that would probably be the most viral moment of the show.
yeah, because like he stood there perfect. Like he didn't move. So he was definitely like, hey, go out here, stand here, turn around, and brace. So yeah, unanimous Dominic, and then
Yeah.
either
feel like
Finn
for
taking the
this
pin or
match-
soming happening.
I feel like
He
this match should have had a
fractured his rib.
stipulation. This should have had like a ladder match or something.
Yeah, but it's a fatal four-way, so I mean, it's already a
Yeah,
no
but they
DQ match, so I mean, you can already do
I
stuff.
know. But I feel like that could have been a more perfect way because I feel like someone's getting turned on in this match. Either Finn is turning on Dom
Yeah.
or Dom's turning on Finn, and it's going to be a perfect way for another match. So like say Dominic was gonna maybe help Finn win because he's making Finn think that he's on Finn's side, and then Finn's about to climb up the ladder, get the title, and then Dom just pushes the ladder.
Is it a ladder match?
No, I'm making a scenario if it was a ladder match for a way for
Oh,
Dom
okay.
to turn on Finn. Like say Dom pushes the ladder and then he wins the title. Or, as say like Ty said, Finn cracks Dom after the match. I feel like that could also be a way. Say if somehow Finn wins the match, I feel like it's gonna be Finn or Dom that wins this match. One of them. It should be Dom, but it's gonna be one of them that wins the match. The only way I see it happening is if Finn wins the match and then Dom clocks him after the match, and then they all start beating him up, and then Dom gets his rematch at Backlash, and then that's when Dom wins the title.
Dom could win the
Basically,
title
Finn-
off Balor. That's totally plausible.
Basically, if Finn wins the title, he's going to be a transitional champion again.
Yep.
Or Dom wins it, and then Finn. Well, I mean, yeah, that would make more sense because that would create animosity. If Finn won, Dom doesn't. Dom wants the title. He goes, fine, me and you. Whoever loses leaves Judgment Day. And then Balor loses.
Yeah.
And then Balor's out of the Judgment Day. Now he can do a singles run. Now there's the push. So, I mean, that's definitely plausible too.
Yeah, I feel like like one of them's winning, and then they're gonna have a rematch at
Alrighty.
Backlash.
Let's move this along. We all pretty unanimous on the IC title.
Yep.
So the women's tag match, I'm gonna say Liv and Raquel are gonna win, because I think
Yeah,
Bailey's gonna screw Lyra and
Yeah,
and
that's
turn
my
heel,
theory as well.
and Bailey will go after the IC title. She has the IC title,
Bailey-
IC title. So
Bailey's turning on Lyra after this match.
I think they
dude, I
win it.
love Lyra. She's so good in the ring.
What? Did you just say you think that Bailey
I
and
think-
Lyra win?
No, I
think
said
my hot
Liv
take is
Liv
they
and
win.
Raquel win.
No,
No,
Zell.
I say my hot take is I think they win it.
Wow.
I think they win it, and then Liv goes back into the championship run for the world women or for the world title. Because hear me out. They're gonna. I feel like these two, like, in order to build a storyline between Bailey and Lyra, besides Bailey just turning heel again, yada yada. Let's rehash this. I think they pull out the storyline where they both have the titles, and then Bailey's like, "Well, I think I can beat you," and then they put up the Intercontinental title, and it's not gonna be like a heel or face until after Bailey loses the first match against Lyra.
Yeah,
possible.
I could see that.
Yeah, but I feel like
If
Liv
you
and
want to
Raquel
build,
should
if you
hold the
want to
title
build
for
out
longer.
Bailey as a mid card, well,
She's just not world title worthy anymore. She's really not, and I hate to say that because I love Bailey, but she's really just not main event like worthy anymore.
man, do you push Lyra as a champion, as a
I
world
push
champion?
Lyra as a champion. I think I
Yeah.
need to see more from her, but I feel like she has that potential. Whereas
She's-
Bailey's just on that decline.
That's why I
where
think
we're gonna see.
She's
her
got
much
the ring
longer.
game. She's got the entrance. She's got the flash, the style. She's just young.
that's why I think Bailey should turn on
Young.
her.
I'd say young in terms
Mania.
of wrestling. New,
Yeah,
but she's not young. But
If Bailey turns on Lyra at Mania, then Lyra instantly has a story for her IC title after Mania.
that
yeah,
too.
and then
But
I
to
mean,
say, I feel like for me it goes either way.
because I mean, really, like it could go either way. But like Bailey could take the title off Lyra and still put her over, like still make her look incredible. Just because someone loses doesn't get put over doesn't mean that they don't become a world champion. Someone worthy of looking at a world championship right away.
Yeah,
There's
no, I
tons
get
of people
that.
who have lost and then become like lost the title, and all of a sudden they've inserted themselves. I've proven myself, yada yada yada.
I mean, Gunther did it whenever he lost the IC.
Yeah, he
but
went
then
right
again,
to the World Heavyweight
Yeah, but
Championship.
Gunther deserved
But he
the world
also
title.
held. Yeah, I was gonna say he also held it for a while too.
I feel like
So
that's
what
what's
if-
happened
what
with
if she
Braun
becomes-
after WrestleMania as well.
Yeah,
Braun's going to go straight into the world title scene after Mania when he loses the IC belt.
McIntyre versus Priest. Street fight.
this, mm, this.
Only
I-
stipulation
I'm
on the
gonna-
card, by the way.
Huh?
It is the
Yep,
only
only
stipulation.
stipulation.
Um, it-
I mean, it's rough because they both can win this. They've made it clear that like they both can just absolutely.
Drew wins and gets his
destroy each
WrestleMania
other.
moment.
I'm with
Yeah, I
that.
think Drew
It's
should
the
win
match.
to
It's the
get
match
his,
that's.
like,
It's the
to
match
get-
that
to
steals
get-
the show.
Well,
I
it's
feel
also
like Drew
his
should win
revenge
this match, sort of, revenge for getting cashed in on
Yeah.
Exactly
last year.
Drew wins. No interferences. No nothing. I think it's just. I think Drew just
Just have
pins
them
him.
beat the absolute piss out of each other.
Yeah, that's exactly
Yeah.
what it's going to be. I think that's pretty
Have them
cut
fight in
and
the
dry,
crowd,
to be
have them fight
honest.
backstage.
Yep.
Just let them have an absolute slobber knocker. Just let them do their thing.
Yeah, I think that's what you do. I think Drew wins clean and cut and clean, and no interferences, no nothing. I think it's just a straight up street fight, and that's it. Because they can continue the feud. They can continue to feud that way because he has Priest's chain.
Yeah.
Drew
and
just loves
it's
stealing
punk. It's
things from
punk all
people,
over
doesn't he?
again.
Yeah, he just loves stealing that shit.
I know it's, but it's hilarious because it makes for funny. Um,
The social media thief. Love
AJ
it.
Styles versus, speaking of social media thief, AJ Styles versus Logan Paul.
No, I feel like this
It's
match
it-
could cook. This match
This
could
match
definitely
is
Uh,
cook.
going
This
to
match
cook.
is
It's
gonna
going to
cook.
cook.
See,
I hate
you can
Logan,
say
but
all
he's
you want about Logan Paul. Like
so good.
it's a criminal that he's so good at wrestling.
It really
Like
is.
But
so
do we
annoying that
see?
he literally looks like he belongs there.
Okay, is he so good that they're gonna let him beat AJ Styles at Mania?
No.
This is potentially AJ's last WrestleMania.
See, I feel like I don't know. I feel like AJ's definitely the type of guy that'd be like, I'm alright with putting over Logan.
Yeah,
But
that's what I'm
would
saying.
we be okay with Logan beating AJ? No, but then
No.
again, that helps give Logan heel heat. Like
We're
that's the
not gonna
main
be
point.
okay with it. But I can,
They want to have us hate Logan even more, having him beat AJ Styles.
I'm over here beating up my leg because I know like Logan's good enough to beat AJ, but the fact is I don't want it. I don't want it at all.
I'll pick AJ.
Because
It's not gonna happen, but I'm gonna pick AJ anyways.
Because Logan won his debut match, then lost the next one against Seth, then won again the next year. Yeah, you can
Wasn't
take
his
this
I was
loss.
gonna say, how many?
his
Go
What's
debut
the
Mania
win
match
loss?
was against Seth, wasn't it?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was his
he's gone.
Mania
He's
match
gone
was
win, loss, win. Now he can just lose again to continue the trend.
I thought
you
his
go.
debut match was a win against Seth.
No, it
His
was a
debut
tag.
match
No,
was
he
the tag
lost.
match with Miz.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then he
whenever
lost
they,
to
like,
Seth.
right?
So what's
Then he
everyone's
lost to Seth,
predictions?
and then he
God, it's been 4 years.
Yeah.
I
it's
think he
been
loses. I think AJ wins.
Okay, so we have
Yeah,
two
I'm
people.
gonna go
Two.
AJ.
Gonna be mad if
So
AJ
everyone's
loses.
saying AJ, but theoretically,
Logan
it's
can do
quite
it.
possible. It's probable it's going to be Logan. Yeah.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be mad if it's Logan. It is what it is. I'm not gonna be happy.
I wouldn't
or
be
mad.
mad, but I guarantee you the farming I'm gonna be doing on Twitter after that is gonna be great.
I'll be looking for your tweets. um, the Women's World Championship. So, like I was saying with the Naomi J Cargill thing, because it's on Sunday and not Saturday, my theory of Bianca costing, Naomi the match or something, and then Jade, and then turning on Jade or something like that. That's kind of out the door. I think Io pins Rhea dead center in the middle. I think that's it. Because the thing is Bianca doesn't need it. Rhea sure as shit doesn't need it. She needs to just do a mid-card run, and Io deserves it.
Yeah, I feel
I
like
agree
Rhea,
with you.
they need to give her more like feuds without the title.
Yeah.
Stop making her look stale.
She's being put in
so
just
tired
to
of Rhea.
appease.
She's going into that stale
Yeah.
category.
Well,
she's
the thing
going
is,
into
she's the
Charlotte
biggest
Flair
women's
category.
wrestler there, so they had to have her somewhere. But she takes the pin. Rhea gets pinned, but I don't think Io wins
Io should
wins
win.
the title 3 weeks out from Mania and loses it. I don't see it.
See, a lot of people are saying Rhea's definitely not winning, but a lot of people are saying Io should definitely win. But then a lot of people are saying, well, Bianca should go on a streak like Undertaker.
I agree. I think Bianca wins this.
I just no.
Bianca has done her work and has deserved this, but I think her first feud is going to be with Io.
No,
Rhea
because
takes the
like
pin.
here's the
I
thing.
don't know how I feel. I don't know how I feel about Io being a transitional champion to Bianca for Mania.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like the thought of that. That's why I want Io to win. Because
Yeah,
Io's loss has to mean something because they did it to her when she lost to Bailey. She wasn't a champion for very long, and they had Bailey win.
Yes, she was.
What, when she was
She was
in
the
damage
champion
control?
for a good bit throughout.
Yeah,
She was like 10 months.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, she almost had it for a whole year.
Yeah.
you talking about Io's first title reign?
Yeah, she had it for
Yeah,
like
she
The
had,
thing
she
is-
had it from
200
SummerSlam.
plus.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
From SummerSlam to Mania.
Wasn't it Money in the Bank? Cash-in?
Yeah,
She
her
won.
cash-in.
Yeah, won it. Yeah, and she beat.
Bianca.
Correct me if I'm wrong. She beat Bianca.
Yeah, she
This
cashed in
comes
on
full
Bianca.
story.
It was Bianca.
But so Bianca's gonna pin Rhea. Io's gonna lose, and then the first feud is gonna be against Bianca, against Rhea, right? Io. Fuck, dude, I'm getting names confused. But this goes into the whole thing, right? they don't separate married couples on the show. So if Bianca wins, it makes sense that what the fuck's her name from night one? Uh,
Jade.
Charlotte's gonna win. Charlotte's gonna move to Raw, and then Bianca's gonna stay on SmackDown. Either that or the Street Profits move to Raw
Oh, that's right, because she's married to one of them, isn't she?
because she's married to
Yeah.
Montez Ford.
Yeah.
They're not gonna separate them because they don't do that anymore.
I'm picking you.
However,
Tiffany
Tiffany
it
could
depends on
win
the.
and go to Raw and be with because she's dating the cunty dude who's with Gunther, whose name I can't think of right now.
Oh, he's not with
Ludwig
Gunther
Kaiser.
anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
Kaiser.
I was gonna say I think that one's gonna be more accurate because it all depends on how Friday's tag team match turns out if they win or lose those titles.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that'll probably solidify our answer as far as who's gonna win or lose this match.
And I'm gonna make this statement pretty clear. This triple threat's gonna open the show.
Oh, easily.
This is gonna be the opener.
It's either gonna be this one or it's gonna be the Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah, no in between. This will either
Um,
be co-main event or the opener.
So the big
And
one,
the second match is gonna be the tag titles.
the head
well-
honcho event.
But we still have Randy versus to be announced. So who we picking?
Yeah, who's everyone
It's either
picking?
gonna be Solo or Nick.
God,
I want it
dude,
to be Nick.
I do
I
want it
love
to be.
Nick,
I want it to be
but I
Nick because
think
it'll be
it's gonna be
hilarious.
Solo.
I really wish that they would have moved up Aleister Black's debut to have it be at WrestleMania against Randy, but he's not losing his debut. So
No,
No,
he's not
I
losing
feel
his
like
debut.
I feel like Randy needs to get like a pay per view win. He hasn't had one in fucking ages.
Unless they throw that curveball at us and do make him debut and Randy
I would-
ruins that debut. That's
yeah,
starting
but
to
I don't
be-
think Randy is at that point where he wants to ruin anyone's debut.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
it
this
could
isn't
happen.
2004 Randy.
Doesn't necessarily
This
ruin
is
his. He
2025
doesn't necessarily
Randy.
ruin
No, we're
his
about to get
debut.
2009, Randy.
Yeah, I need him to punt whoever he is facing as hard as he can in the head.
I need to see a punt, man. They were teasing it for so long. I need
Dude,
to
what
see
if
it.
what if he faces Aldous and punts him, and then Stone Cold gets named the GM?
Yeah,
Oh my
sure,
God.
whatever. Doesn't matter to me.
I'd be down. I'd
I
watch.
mean, I think that's why they brought Solo in too, just so Solo can take a punt.
Yeah. Maybe it'll knock some sense into him and he'll be a better wrestler.
He'll become the next tribal.
So
Tribal queef.
Durr.
so what's everyone saying as his opponent? I'll say Solo.
I'll
Yeah,
say
Solo
Solo
makes sense,
realistically.
but
Yeah,
he
I'll say
just-
Solo.
he
I
just
want it to be
doesn't
Nick,
do
but I
it.
think it's gonna be
though,
Solo.
Nick. Dream match, Nick.
I wish it was Aldous. Yeah,
Yeah,
that would be funny.
honestly, you want to know what I think? Just give him a gauntlet match against like 3 different people.
That's a good
And then
idea.
Right.
let Nick come out
Give
and pin him.
give Mello, let Mello get in there. Just let like 3 people from SmackDown get in there and have matches. And then if you want Aleister Black's debut, make it a 4-person gauntlet match, right? He squashes the first 3, he's tired, and then he loses to Aleister. That's how you do his debut.
Yeah, I seen that.
If
theory.
if
Start
if
quoting.
you're going if you're gonna move Aleister Black's debut up from the Friday after WrestleMania to WrestleMania, that's how you make his debut. Because Randy doesn't get anything, negative against him, right? If he loses a gauntlet match. And then Aleister gets nothing negative against him because he wins. But it's gonna
I'm
be against
skeptical about
Solo and
Alistair's
we're all gonna hate
debut.
it.
I'm skeptical about his debut because
I'm excited.
when because I knew he was going to come back, but when I always pictured in mind when he came back, he'd go back to NXT because I feel like him in NXT under Shawn Michaels would cook.
The issue, there's just so many players in NXT for the men's that I feel like
I
he
was
would
gonna
just get
say, yeah.
lost.
Yeah, I feel like he came. I feel like that's why he's going straight to the main roster because they got too many like people like top male stars at NXT right now, so he'd probably get lost in the shuffle. But I
That's
just
just
hope he
what,
doesn't get lost in the. But I hope he doesn't get lost in the shuffle in his return to WWE. I hope he doesn't get
That's just-
Andrade.
that's just
'Cause-
what wrestling is though now. Like you have all these top stars, you have to do something to stand out more than the other at this point.
Yeah.
I just hope he comes back with his NXT theme, not that garbage he had before he got released.
I'm excited. I'm very excited for his return. All right, we'll bring it to the most important match of this WrestleMania. Who
John
wants
Cena
to
wins.
start?
It should be Cena.
It makes no sense.
Now here, no.
But I
now
feel
here-
like
I
they
think-
have. I feel like I can't trust WWE anymore with after what happened at Mania 39, where we all thought Cody was going to beat Roman, and
Yes,
then
but
Roman
that's
won.
Vince era though. That's the thing.
I know, but still, I can't trust WWE booking anymore. I know it's Vince, but like, I can't trust anything when everyone says, "Oh, this
Okay.
person's definitely going to win," and then they just go, "Yeah, you know what? We're gonna swerve it."
But objectively speaking, Cody losing at Mania 39 set up the biggest WrestleMania in recent memory.
That is very true, but
You
I was still on a whole other level of pissed.
You know what's
After
funny
that.
Oh,
though?
everyone was. Dude, I woke up and I looked at my phone and I said, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Because I really wasn't watching at that point.
Cena, Cody has been. Here's the thing. Cody up until John with the Royal Rumble, not with the Royal Rumble, with the Elimination Chamber. Remember way back when John was like, I'm gonna give people 3 weeks to trash talk me without me there.
And no one did.
And nobody did anything except for
Drew.
Logan Paul, who made a comment about a
Yeah.
guy who won't even show up for his own retirement tour. Or no, that was Punk, who won't show up for his own retirement tour. That was it.
Yeah.
That was all that was said. And then
And that-
everything happened.
Mhm.
The thing is that Cody has been very shaky for the last few months. He had that night on Raw where his like voice was like, it was almost like he was crying or trying not to cry, but like he was sick or something was going on where he was like really low voice and I don't know what I'm doing. He was talking very slow, very almost like robotic like. So the thing is let's be honest, his run has sucked. And
And I
Cena
don't think
and
it's at
Cena will
no
make
fault of his own though.
I think Cena, even if he holds it for just a touch, not long enough, like even if he say loses it to Punk, down the road, say he loses at SummerSlam or he loses at Money in the Bank, which I think would be poetic. Him losing at Money in the Bank again to Punk would be poetic.
You're diving into my territory here because here's my theory. So Cena wins it. Great. He gets his 17th. Paul turns on Punk, yada yada. However, I think what's going to happen is Cena's going to lose it to Punk, as you just stated. And then that's when Roman comes back in and gets the title again because of
Ugh.
that Punk and Roman feud. Because they already said
Ugh.
Roman's on a redemption arc whenever he lost the title at Mania. Like they said in that post conference, like Roman's got a redemption arc coming, so I don't see him not without a title for very long, and I think Roman's gonna take it from Punk after he takes it from
Ugh.
Cena.
I'm gonna be honest with you. We don't need to see Roman have the title again.
He's
for a
not
while.
going
You
to.
don't need
He's
it.
not. He's not
I
going
don't
to.
need it. Mm.
I will. There is one person that deserves to win this match, and it's John Cena. He deserves to have 17. Fuck Ric Flair and 16 titles. That piece of shit can stay off of history now. All right? There is no one else in this company who deserves it more than John Cena. He is absolutely 100% going to win. And if he loses, this is a huge fumble. His heel turn makes no sense. Him fighting with the fans makes no sense. It's just bullshit. He deserves to win it.
I mean, him fighting with the
also
fans is funny. It does.
That
it's
poor
just-
fucking kid
That
who
kid.
got
That
roasted
was
and
amazing.
had no idea. That little fat kid in fucking Belgium that we're all talking about still.
That was hilarious. I laughed so hard at that.
Okay,
I
so,
felt like I was
here's-
watching his TV show at that point. We made fun of the kid.
Cena has exactly after WrestleMania 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 scheduled appearances all in a row. He gets Raw,
Mhm.
SmackDown, Backlash, main event, SmackDown, and then Paris. And that's all he has scheduled right now, all the way till August 31st. So if he doesn't win the title, why is he scheduled so much?
Exactly.
Other than the fact-
See, I feel like if he didn't turn heel, it would have made it more unpredictable. Or maybe it would have been more predictable Cody to win. But you can't have him turn heel for the first time in 20 years and then just have him lose.
Yep.
Especially if Gunther loses.
Because then that's gonna make the fans turn on Cody.
Especially if
I feel
Gunther
like-
loses. The thing is that WWE's always had one heel champion, and when there was a face champion. So if Jey Uso wins, then Cena has to win, or Cody has to turn heel.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. Cody's been cemented after Cena's heel turn. He is the baby
Yep.
face of the company. We will
Yep.
probably never see a Cody Rhodes heel turn.
I disagree
No, we will
I
eventually.
thought Cody will turn eventually.
because Cena already hinted at it.
And everything John says comes true.
Cena's already hinted at a Cody heel turn, and I don't think very many people caught it. It's whenever he's told Cody on the last promo battle they had when he wasn't being his true authentic self, and he was
Yeah.
more of I feel like his authentic self is more of a heelish champion, aka Homelander Cody Rhodes.
Yep.
But
I agree.
Do you think Rock shows up?
Yep.
yes,
Okay, and if Rock shows
he-
up,
if he
does
doesn't
Austin show up?
Yep.
no,
Because obviously I think Austin was meant to show up last year, but they couldn't like get him. They
He
came down
wasn't.
to
He
some,
wasn't.
like,
He wasn't
issues.
He wasn't traveling that way.
Yeah, and I feel like because he's going to be in Vegas,
He lives in Vegas.
I want to see a 2025 stunner from Stone Cold to The Rock, and I want to see Rock do that sell in 2025.
I
He
don't think that's
bounces,
so.
fucking, he
Dude.
like does like a back bump and then bounces his legs off the ropes.
Dude, Austin sides with The Rock.
That'd be crazy.
Dude, could you imagine?
I mean, if that's the way we have Stone Cold on TV more, then I'm down with it.
My thing
If he's
is,
down to like one
Rock-
more run,
if Rock doesn't show up for this title match, which we're all in agreement he probably will, he's gonna show up for that triple threat match between Roman, Punk, and Rollins. I feel like there's
So
something
he
there.
might show. Yeah, you know what? John versus Cody might be clean. He could
I
very
feel
well
like-
show up for that. And if he is, if Seth does align himself with The Rock, it would be that time to do it.
Exactly.
That's a very good
and
point.
that could then plant more seeds for the eventual Roman versus Rock.
Exactly.
Like Roman
Next
hates
year.
Seth for joining up with Rock, but then he hates Rock more for aligning himself with someone who he hates in Seth.
Which sets up Roman's retirement match. Because Roman said that once he doesn't have his wise man anymore, you won't see the tribal chief anymore. Roman said once his title reign was done, he doesn't have much time left in WWE.
That's
Yeah, because isn't he going to basically go off to Hollywood? Like
Yeah,
Rock
but
did?
he's also, his body can't do it anymore
Yeah,
because of
there's-
all the chemo and everything. His body can't do
Oh yeah,
it
true.
anymore.
Because like
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like the older he gets, his like because he doesn't have leukemia now, but you never know when it could come back. I feel like the older he gets, the more vulnerable his body will get to.
Yeah.
Leukemia
Well,
then
also too, he
attacking him,
doesn't
so yeah,
heal.
that makes
He doesn't
makes
heal that
sense.
well from injuries and stuff too. You gotta remember, it wreaks havoc on his cells. His body doesn't heal properly. It heals longer from injuries and stuff like that. He's more susceptible to worse injuries, infections,
But I
all
feel
that
like
type
when
of
Roman
stuff.
goes, that's going to leave a massive vortex, or like leave a massive gap.
Why do you think
Yeah,
they've been
but
running
it
most of
gives I was gonna say it gives so many
them?
people opportunities to step up.
Yeah, there's so many people that need to step up in the title thing, but the thing is they can't because they've been recycling the same people. But now it's time for people like Penta and Finn and Dom and those guys and Drew and Damien to
Like
step
Jacob.
up. Jacob,
Yeah, I
those
wanna-
guys
I
all to
wanna-
step up. Chad Gable
I
to
want a
step in.
proper-
No, El Grande Americano.
LA Knight
not
up there
Chad
Oh
as
my
well.
god, freaking Grande Nacho over here.
Yeah, you can't forget about El Grande Americano, man, aka Chad Hogan.
The Large American. That's what his name is. The Large American.
I have to wrap it up here, guys. Though, I think it's the longest episode we've done, which
Yeah,
is
season finale, wasn't
insane. Over an hour.
Is it?
Yeah, we're almost nearly an hour and 10 minutes into this episode.
Bloody hell.
Insane.
Bloody hell.
Im-
Wow.
Crazy. I have one final hot take. If Jey Uso wins the title, Goldberg costs Gunther the world title, and that sets up Gunther versus Goldberg retirement match.
I
Oh,
forgot about that.
I now hope that happens so I can see your meltdown.
Oh my
Well,
gosh, I
I'm the one
forgot
calling
about
it.
Yeah, I know, but I know because like
Goldberg
if
is
that
supposed
happened,
to
you
have a
probably
last
then.
match.
Goldberg's supposed to have a last
Right.
match, and Gunther is rumored. So
I've
I
got
still think it should be Braun.
I got a final segment. I want you guys to any returns at Raw after Mania. Who do we
Uh,
see?
MJF.
I
No,
don't
I'm
want
sure.
to. No, not gonna happen. I don't know if any returns are gonna happen. I think we will see Obafemi defend his title because he's gonna win Saturday. I think Roxanne finally makes her official debut to the main roster, and then I think Julia defends her, or not defends her title, but has a match, kind of like how Roxanne had a match after Stand and Deliver last year.
I personally, you know how like WWE tend to say, "Oh, this person's going to be out till for a bit longer than we all thought."
Ilya
and then
Dragunov is not coming
Ilya,
back. No, absolutely
no,
not. His ACL is fucking in pieces
but
still.
I saw him. But yeah, I saw stuff of him
Yeah,
training. Like,
Charlotte was training months after too. She didn't return for like 13 months.
Yeah, I wish she
Ilya
didn't
will
yeah, I
return
come
don't
at
think
back
it's
all.
in
gonna happen. But
September.
if I see Ilya come back,
A lot
gonna
of them
mark.
range.
I'm gonna mark out.
I do think that the Wyatts finally return Friday.
Yep. You're gonna have to
Um,
return Friday
Yeah, Wyatt
or
6 should come back.
Raw after.
yeah,
I thought
Alistair
that's when they
debuts
finally
Alexa
Friday.
chose.
Alexa Bliss aligns
add-
herself with the Wyatts on Monday night.
Yeah,
Yep.
that would be a
Yep.
or on Friday
Oh,
because
and
She
well,
Wyatt's on
she
SmackDown.
announces that she's the new leader of the Wyatt family. I think
what
that's my hot take for
Nikki,
Raw after
Nikki
WrestleMania.
and
Mhm.
Alexa attack
Nikki
Liv
and
and
Alexa
Raquel.
take the tag titles off Liv and Raquel.
I would be happy with that.
Yep.
Yeah,
That sets up a
Alright.
title match. Yep.
it does.
Yep. And that's how you get, and that's
Okay.
how you build. That's how you build Alexa Bliss back into something.
Mhm.
All right. Hornswoggle
Alright, guys.
returns on Monday Night Raw.
Oh, good lord!
You guys.
With Jerry the King Lawler.
And the Boogeyman. Don't forget the Boogeyman.
Oh, the Boogeyman's coming back.
Oh wait, no, hold
Alright,
on,
guys.
hold on.
Yeah, baby.
One more thing before we sign off. The Boogeyman will accompany Jacob Fatu to the ring at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
100%.
Hornswoggle
Or he will be
also
there.
Listen,
as the alarm clock.
This has
smash the
been
alarm clock over his face.
this has been an amazing episode. It's we've been wanting to do a collab with so many other people to do something. We didn't know what to do. And just to get so many people that are all into wrestling and to just shoot the shit and just have fun. It's amazing how well our brains actually kind of came together on how we thought things were
Yeah.
going to turn out. It's been incredible. This is a fantastic way to end season 1 of the Mismatch. I can't even speak. Mismatch podcast. Thank you, CJ. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Zell, for joining. We're going to do this again. If you guys would like to see this every couple of weeks, we'll do kind of recaps. Let us know. It's on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Guys, sign off.
See you later, guys.
Later.
We will see you
Deuces.
guys in the next episode. Peace.